first phase is always the spring football piece. When you get here, you get to a new place, and you're trying to establish things. And then once that concludes, then you got to set out your goals for the remainder of the summer and into training camp. So I think I had an opportunity to meet with all of our players again after the spring game, individually, which is something I put a lot of stock in, and just to be able to continue to develop the guys individually. So that was the major goal. Is once you get to know them and get the chance to see them on the field in spring ball, you get evaluated where they're at, and then you set goals for them, in certain areas, and have your individual position coaches do that as well. And I focus more on mindset and daily habits. Really emphasize that over the summer, because that's the time when they really have the best opportunity to really develop those and build on those, because so much of it is away from the coaches more than it is during the springtime or in fall camp. So really want to see who kind of elevates themselves from a leadership perspective, but it's about really developing your body, developing your mind, mastering the system, being able to put yourself in position to have, as I tell them, my goal is to be in the best shape of your life when you come into training camp, and then also have your best, fall camp you've ever had. And so how do you do that? Well, you do that by having, physically, mentally, spiritually, getting yourself where you're supposed to be, and that's multi-layers. And to me, so that's the real focus was on that, and then it's just the constant accountability through that period, through our coaches, through our shrink staff, through myself, and it never ends. And so I think that's been the objective, and so we're just finishing that phase up right now. Got the rest of this week and then into next week, and we'll finish up the summer, and then they get a few days away, and then we're into fall camp.
What made Clemson the right move for you?
And my family, and that was pretty clear about that from the beginning, and that's just proven to be an amazing opportunity here, being so close to our two daughters and our son who's with us here. But family is really important to me. My faith's really important to me. The culture that Dabo has built here is, was pretty well established and well known in regarding to the kind of environment you would be in here as a coach, and so those things just continue to be reinforced in the decision that we made. And obviously, I was a part of a great place and working for a great head coach and great people, and I really appreciate that. And it was an awesome time. But for me, it was about my family, and it's proven to be an awesome thing to be able to get a lot of time together with them, way more than we ever would have had we lived in a different place, and those things matter to me.
Coach, to this point, is there an area of the defense you think is a strength, and an area do you think you would like to see some improvement by the time you get to kickoff in a way?
Well, we got a lot of work to do. I know there's a lot of excitement, as there always is, to start a season, and it's a new year, and everybody has a lot of high expectations for themselves and for their teams, and we're no different. But we got to develop depth. We really, I like the core guys that we have. That's been a big challenge for us this whole summer, and challenge to the players. Want to be able to play a lot of guys. I want guys to feel like that every time they step on the field, they have a starter mentality. That it's not that I'm a 2 or 3 or 4. No, when I'm on the field, I'm the best player at this position. I'm representing that room when I take the field. And I want them to feel the pressure of that, and I think that's a powerful thing. And so that depth to me is what sticks out. We have to do a great job of being able to attack the quarterback, but the first thing you got to do before you get a chance to affect him on third downs is stop the run. So that's been a focus since I've been here. That involves run fits, that involves tackling. That we intentionally all summer long. Obviously the summer's different than it is when we're with them here, as we will be here in fall camp. But we definitely added some things to that over the summer for the guys to work on that during the summer, which I thought was very, very important to do. And so that's going to be at the forefront. It's being a great tackling defense, an area that we have to improve, must improve, and you got to be able to get 11 guys in the football. So that's the effort piece. And that, to me, that's the one thing that I probably put the most emphasis on. Why? Because it's the one thing that every kid completely controls. Every player completely controls his effort. So those are the kind of things we want to be able to keep emphasizing as we get into camp, and that needs to be our strength. How hard we play, how physical we play, how fundamentally sound we are in everything that we do, and from tackling to gap fits to execution of what we do is really, really critical for me. So going to get some time as the schedule allows us to here. we get closer here to camp to be able to be more time with our players, and so we'll maximize that. But the bottom line is that it's about performance at this point. We've got a great opportunity ahead of us here this season, but we got a lot of work to do between now and August 30th.
Coach, you coached one of the best players in the country last season, Abdul Carter. What are some of the things you see in TJ Parker and make you think that you see some of the same qualities?
Well, at the end of the day, is can you get to the quarterback? And obviously TJ has shown the ability to do that in the past, and so that gives you a lot of excitement. Obviously, and those guys had similar numbers, a year ago, and I think just he has a knack to be able to position himself. He's great use of his hands, great leverage on offensive blockers and tackles and whoever chooses to block him. I think that pops out to me. His relentless effort to get to the quarterback is another thing that sticks out on film. His work ethic, I just love how he works. Those are all key things that matter. I think his technique has continued to get better and better all the time. He's got a great coaching staff around him up front and a lot of NFL experience there to work with him and get him ready to play at the highest level. So I think TJ Parker has worked extremely hard. Needs to have a great training camp like they all do. And obviously, it's like everybody else. It's about what you do on game day, And so he had a great, campaign a year ago, but he's got to be able to elevate his game and keep getting better. And that's what I expect him to do. Just like, Abdul was able to have his best season of his career in his final year this past season, and that's what I expect TJ to do this year.
Coach, you talk a lot about effort. From the time that you got here, how long does that evaluation process take in terms of judging effort and who does see the field more?
Yeah, I think it's never ending for me, so they're going to learn real fast here in fall camp that everything we established in spring ball, that wasn't just a spring ball thing, that's an everyday thing, and we will not be outlasted by our players in that regard, so we're going to be relentless in expecting that in everything that we do. So day one, day two, day three, it's going to feel just like it did when we started spring ball. So that's the expectation. But I will say, to answer your question, when does it show up? We were watching practice after, I think it was even during a scrimmage in the stadium, and there was a particular play where it was like, okay, this is starting to look the way it's supposed to look. And you just saw all 11 guys just put their foot in the ground and just flying the ball, empty stadium, nobody's watching. All that matters is what's on the inside and how you've been trained to respond when the ball is on the perimeter or wherever the ball goes. And we saw, even Coach Sweeney noticed it and mentioned it and commented and pointed out to the whole team. And to me, that was just kind of you saw, okay, these guys are starting to figure this out, and which is pretty awesome.
Coach, it seemed like from the first press conference, you and